Is GDP a useful measure of living standards? GDP is a useful measure of living standards. This is because as GDP increases, households are likely to see their incomes rise. They can now buy more goods and services, and therefore their quality of life would increase. Additionally, as an economy grows, governments are likely to make more tax revenue. They can then spend these tax revenues on public services such as education, healthcare, boosting quality of life and living standards in the country. However, GDP may not be a useful measure of living standards because it does not account for inequality and distribution of income. Not all in the country are benefiting from rising incomes and living standards. For example, a CEO may see their incomes rise by £1 million to £3 million, whilst a cleaner may only get £100 pay rise. Additionally, GDP does not account for the way the government spends its tax revenue. So for example, the government could be using the tax revenue to pay off debt, or they could be spending it pointlessly like on the military, or waste it on corruption. Therefore, living standards may not improve. Finally, GDP may not account for the informal market. People could be working or selling and not declaring to the government. The government won't account for that income generated when they're calculating GDP. So GDP could underestimate the total GDP in the country, and therefore living standards could be much higher than what the government thinks.